Hello, everyone, and welcome again to Entrepreneur Talks podcast. My name is Yola Bars, and today I have Lisa Levy with me. We're gonna try to solve businesses puzzles with her. I don't know where we're gonna go, but we're gonna have lots of fun for sure. So I hope you enjoy. Grab your drink, make some notes, and also you can chat with us straight away on the comments on either on LinkedIn or women or YouTube, which is Women Flix, and you can ask anything that you might want to ask today, right now, either to myself or to Lizzie. Lisa. So sorry. And now I mixed it up, the both names. So let's welcome Lisa Levy. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Yola. I'm so happy to be with you and your audience today.
Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for accept our podcast session today, and I'm so grateful for your presence. Can you tell us where are you talking from?
I am joining you today from Phoenix, Arizona. So for me, it's the beginning of my day, and I know you're wrapping yours up. So thank you for the opportunity and the
Yes,
time.
no problem. That's my pleasure. I wouldn't mind if you would be late or earlier. It's just the fact that we are all over the world and we can
Yes.
connect each other and bring this kind of conversations to the world to empower others and inspire and so on. So, and because of that inspiration and empowerment, that's why we are here. And I would like to ask you if you can describe in 3 words yourself.
In 3 words, I am a catalyst.
Cabalist.
I am a coach, and I am a little bit zany.
Zany. Wow. Listen, these 2 words of them, the three of that describe yourself, I never heard. Maybe on another type of, maybe there is other words, but I never heard this. Zen and Kabbalist. I'm
Yeah.
so curious. You can start, Lisa, to explain to us what is Kabbalist. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me, but
So a catalyst is something that instigates and incites others. So in chemistry, it is the agent that you need to create a spark to create flame. So for me, I talk about I'm a disruption catalyst. I help others find the ways to challenge their status quo so that they can make a difference and change their environment and their circumstances.
wow. Do you know if this, because I gave the title is solving business puzzles, but if
Yes.
this word would be in a puzzle that I need to I wouldn't solve at all, because I never heard, but I'm learning. Tomorrow I would solve, but yesterday no way. And now, what about yourself? Describing yourself as Zinni.
Zany. So just a little bit silly, right? Just a little, don't want to take myself too seriously, don't want to take the world around me and circumstances too seriously. So I have to come and bring a little bit of humor into everything that we do.
I love it. I love that. I'm gonna investigate if Zinni is only American or is English from
Yeah,
the.
that's
That's
what you get for asking me for 3 words. That was just the things that come off the top of my head.
no, what's amazing, marvelous. I love them, and I already wrote, and I'm not gonna forget this. Oh, thank you so much, because that's the way I think I found easy to understand as well who is with me and get to know a little bit more. But when it comes to Cavalist, now I'm gonna stuck with this word.
That's
You said that's the way you work as well with others. What exactly do you do? So we can understand a bit more.
absolutely. So with L Cubed Consulting, it's a firm we've existed for 14 years, but like everybody else on an entrepreneurial journey, where I started and where I am is not necessarily what I thought I was going to do or where I planned to be.
Right.
So the idea of the catalyst comes into play when we are talking about how do we make sure that we are improving how our business operates? Are we comfortable with what's happening today? And if we are, we're going to continue to do the same things the same way and get the same results. But very few entrepreneurs and leaders want the exact same results they get today a year from now. So being a catalyst helps us challenge the status quo to make those changes to become more effective, more efficient, more profitable, to grow,
Mhm.
to scale.
Wow. Okay, got it. Got it. And I think I might made a mistake on the word. Do you know what I heard? Now I understood something else that it connects with catalyst, right? Cat. How do you spell the word that you describe yourself? C A.
Catalyst.
Ah, Yola, Yola, my dyslexic. Oh my God. Do you know what I understood? That's why I never heard the word was cavalist. CAVA. And I'm like, intrigues people. Okay, this is good. I like the word. But now when I was listening, your explanation on what you do and how you do it, I'm like, wait a minute. I know this word. Forget about.
Well, there you go. My enunciation might not be great.
No, I do have this because I'm dyslexic, and sometimes, or either I read something, or I understand something that is not exactly the thing that is I'm supposed to understand. So is it is what it is. I just imagine. I don't know if exists any word said like cabalist, but I just made up, and I like the word.
I like making up words too, so I wholeheartedly support it.
You see? So today is the day for Kabbalist. It's going to be in my story. But thank you so much for explaining. And so you've been doing for 14 years, like you said. And how, what is the difference? Like 14 years is a long time and
Mm,
a lot of process because you mentioned something that Freud said, like keep doing the same things again and again and expecting different results.
yeah.
But what exactly for yourself, for your brand, for your business,
Mhm.
uh is this something that you keep in like doing, like you think is a good because like you said, companies sometimes they want to get the same that they having this time now next
Yeah.
year. How that works, how can you.
So my challenge to entrepreneurs, and as we grow into mature businesses and we're growing and we're scaling, is the challenge that what we have today won't be enough a year from now.
Mm,
And what we have to do is, with purpose, make the choice to be disruptive in our own business. And to do that, I use something that we call an innovation engine.
hmm,
The principle behind this, I do it with my team, I do it with my clients, is creating an ongoing process of becoming innovative. So innovation is not poof, magic happens in a laboratory and we have a
that's
new
right.
invention, right?
Yeah.
Those are the cool things in technology when we make big advances. Those are the types of innovation that get everybody really excited, that make headlines, that change the world.
Hmm.
But in our business, day in and day out, we can use innovation as a strategic process. And it's really simple. It's three steps. We have to have a constant stream of new ideas. They need to be crazy. They need to be outlandish. They need to be bigger than we probably will ever execute on. But we need to keep those ideas of what we could be or should be
Real.
flowing,
Yeah.
right? We need to think about them. We need to take time away from doing work to create and think.
That's right.
Those ideas should turn into experiments. We should test them. What would it take to make one of those ideas real?
Hmm.
Some of those experiments are going to give us fabulous results, and we're going to want to do more of that thing or sell more of those things. Other ideas in the experiment are going to fail tremendously. And
Right.
we're going to learn from that too. And the learning moment is what's important. The failure itself is not. It's what we learn and what we do next. Because that's where things start to get interesting. We're testing, we're learning, we're adapting our behavior, we're adapting our products, our services. And then the things that work right, we want to do more of them and we want to take them to the market and we want to solve problems for our customers, whether it's through our products or our services. Whatever it is we're doing needs to drive value to our customers, or
Right.
we shouldn't be doing it at all.
Hmm. That sounds like is even sounds like a very deep work for me. It's like
Mhm.
that's why I think you call innovation engine, because it's not about the innovation lastme.com, but yes, going deep, getting all this structure and then
Mhm.
present like in a clear way that will help us to create that product or the event or anything that we want, to see if it works or not work. But before,
Yeah.
it's a lot of work, right, Lisa?
It is a lot of work, but
So worth
at
it.
that first stage, I want it to be simple.
Hmm.
So it's not expensive, it's not time intrusive, right? It should be very, very fast. And what I mean by that is those first experiments, those first prototypes are 10 people sitting around in a room together talking through what it might look like. Going back in time, there's a great business cliche that says, you know, we came up with this idea on the back of a napkin at the bar, right? We drew the little picture and that was it. And now it's, you know, $1 billion company or whatever that is. But that's the idea, right? That quick and simple, does it make sense? Can 10 of my most trusted people poke holes in the idea or build it up enough to warrant actually investing time and money into making it real? So
Mhm.
it's simple, it's fast. And when we start to get the right things growing, then we go deeper.
Yeah,
But that
exactly.
first few iterations, these are things that we can do in an afternoon.
Exactly. You just made me remember when we started Women Flix. Was from myself inviting my partners. Nowadays we are partners, but to a coffee. We just sat down and I said, you know what? I would like to invite you to be part of this company, blah, 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 but very simple. And they were like, wow, yes, I'm in. And that's it. And from that day, it's 4 years now. We are all like, we are 4 years old, but we doing things like progressively towards where we started in a cafe, just sitting
Yes.
down having a cup of tea or whatever. I don't remember what I did for drink and for food. I think I had food as well. I always have food. It's these fancy places, I love it. When it's something new. And I remember was in Portugal, but I invited them from nowhere. I just felt like I want to do this, and I think you are the best. And they said yes, and I'm like yes, but we didn't know what we're gonna do. But now is all that you're talking about is happens and happened, and it's like it's amazing. It's amazing. Now
Mhm.
I got it. And yes, this is just for tell like to tell you and to tell everyone that is listeners that it takes time. It
Mhm.
does take time, but it's good for us. Very good.
And then if you were, you know, today, Yola, to take your partners, you've got 4 years invested together, right? But what if you took an afternoon every quarter and just started playing with ideas of what you could do in the next 6 months, in the next year? And you constantly build, right? So it's not a, oh, I had this great idea in the middle of the night, let's go play with it. But you have 20 different ideas that
Yeah.
you're playing with and testing and talking through until one of them goes, this really makes sense. And we can see how it can make impact here, here, and here. And now you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah. Totally. We do that. We do actually. We do
Okay.
that, which is really good because we see in there and sometimes looks unthinkable or
Mhm.
unimaginable. Like I can't think like, wow, I think we are too thinking too much, like too far away. but at the same time it's vibrating on us, it's
Mhm.
vibrating on me. And I believe and I see that I'm going to be able to empower women worldwide in a way that I'm not doing now, but we're writing about it, we're thinking, we're planning, we think, what about if you do this that. And it is just magical because with the time goes by, we can we see things are happening, they are
Yeah.
happening. Something that, yeah, we planned there back in the days, or we thought about the idea, and
Right.
it's happening. That's really good. Thank you so much for just bringing me this remembering,
Yeah.
talking about your like the way you work, and it's just made me like, yes, yes, this is good.
Yeah.
It is really good. And can I do another question?
Absolutely.
And in terms of, um, I would like to know the meaning of "that's the way we always done it"
Yeah.
syndrome. Tell us.
Absolutely. So that's the way we've always done it syndrome. I talk about in my book Future Proofing Cubed, but it's a problem that I look for in every environment where we do work. And what that is when you ask and you're talking and trying to understand processes and trying to understand operations and whether or not they're effective and efficient, right? We ask a series of questions, the 5 whys. Why do you do this? And there's a little bit of an explanation. And then we ask it again and again and again. And somewhere in those 5,
Hmm.
there is a high probability that somebody's going to say, that's the way we've always done it.
Okay.
Okay. So when we get to that answer, I know that we have an opportunity to take that process apart and make it better, make it faster, make it more efficient, make it cost less to operate. Because when we're working in the space of that's the way we've always done it, it wasn't a planned process. It was what people started doing. They started training people around them, and now they have no idea why they're doing it or what it means. And I'll always roll it back to what that step, that work effort means ultimately to a customer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
regardless of where we're working in a business, and we can be talking about payroll, we can be talking about HR, somehow we have to understand whatever that step is, whatever that work piece is, has to do something that drives value to the customer, or we're wasting time, money, and people.
Right. Yes,
And
because,
so,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, no, no. Say it. Sorry.
So, getting rid of that's the way we've always done it makes every
Um,
business more effective and makes every business more customer centric. And those to me are the most important things.
that's beautiful. I love that explanation, and also makes me think about a couple of businesses for sure. They they probably will like fight, no, but we don't want to change. No, we
Mhm.
always done it. And give that, try to bring that new, like new me or new them to them. It might be very difficult, right? Sometimes.
It absolutely can be. And with L Cubed and with the practice that I run, we have developed what we call the adaptive transformation framework. And one of the 4 pillars of that is organizational change.
Mm.
All 4 pillars are best practices, but what we do with them are unique. And organizational change is where we start to help people get to the WIFM, the what's in it for me, so that they're going to want to change and understand that it is an opportunity to make their job more interesting. It may be an opportunity for them to get a new role in the company. It may be an opportunity for them to work harder, or I'm sorry, let me say that the right way, work smarter, not harder. Get that it's really important that comes out the right order, right? But the change has benefit to them as an individual,
Right.
and it's not the companies, right? We're doing it for just, big overarching, right? We're going to be more profitable. To an
Mm.
individual employee, that's not a driver. But being able to work fewer hours in the week to get the same results probably is more meaningful.
That's good. That's good. So you were talking about the four pillars. You said one.
I did. Excuse me, to answer that question, the four pillars are project management, process performance management, internal controls, and organizational change. Those are best practices used by every large corporation in the world. They have teams of people, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars invested in making those four best practices work.
Wow.
But entrepreneurs can't afford to do that.
Mm.
And so, with our adaptive transformation framework, we take and weave together some of the best tools of all of those ideas, help our clients embed them across all of their business functions because they're skills and capabilities that anybody can learn. And we can do it without having to make those huge investments. And that sets the teams up to grow and scale.
Yes, because I was about to ask you, so what kind of businesses do you work with? Because in terms of finances, like you just answered, the entrepreneurs don't have that kind of money like big companies. So you basically you created a program or that exactly does the same on the big companies, but is capable to work for you to work with the entrepreneurs on a small
Yes.
businesses, on the medium size, and etc.
Absolutely. So I've spent a lot of time in the big spaces, and when I started L Cubed, I thought that's where I was going to continue to play and make an impact. And I learned, for me personally, working in that space is soul draining because it's not about actually making change happen. It's about checking off a to-do on a quarterly goal or an annual goal. And once it's done, they really don't care anymore, and they don't continue to support whatever that change was. They revert back to
Right.
the way they've always done it more often than not. When I started taking it into the middle market and rolling it back into the smaller businesses, what we do and how we do it changes a little bit. Rather than consulting engagements, we may be doing more coaching and training and education.
Right.
But it's really about building skills and capabilities that we leave behind in the employees that they can continue and use as they grow and scale. We want them to be self-reliant. My consulting approach is not about being in that environment with my customer and client for years and years and years. I want their employees to have those skills and capabilities so that they can continue to grow for years and years and years.
That's really good. You're doing an amazing job, Lisa. Wow. Yeah, that's really good. And another question regarding the businesses, they can be anywhere in the world to be able to work with you, right? Okay.
Absolutely. One of the things that we knew years ago was that we don't have to be co-located to be effective. The pandemic helped prove the point on a global scale that in a virtual conversation like this, we can do a lot. And I would say at this stage, 80% of my clients I don't see in person.
Wow. That's the magic of the technology, and the pandemic just brought us more closer, right, to this.
Yes.
So now, another question related with finances. How do you navigate financial challenges while maintaining an effective process within a company?
So that's a great question because financial implications are huge. And if we can look at processes and find those opportunities to become more effective and more efficient, we are effectively reducing operational overhead. And so that is a really important correlation. And one client that I worked with a number of years ago, we were working on a process that was time to market for their customers was 20 weeks. The customers hated it. They were just livid that it took so long to get what they needed. We went through and retooled the entire process end to end, which in that company, they had never looked at all of the teams that do the work, how they hand off between each other to serve
Wow.
their customer. And there were more than 20 different pieces of that process. So it was a complex, complicated, challenging process. It had everything going against it
Hmm.
until we interviewed the customers, understood what their real wants were, and took that process apart. We took it apart and went from 20 weeks to 4. Now, to quantify the dollars associated with that, right, we have just taken 4 months worth of wasted time, money, and people effort out of the mix. It was millions of dollars in cost savings, which was directly tied to an exponential increase in customer satisfaction.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there we go. Not always the problem is the product. Sometimes it's the way the product goes, right? And this
Yeah.
is a really good example. Thank you so much.
So the product or the service in this case, is product and service, is electricity, right? Being able to turn the light switch on at a house. Everybody needs it. Everybody relies on it. We sort of expect it in first world countries, right? You flip a switch and there's light. You
That's
don't think about where it comes from or any, it's just there. We call it, expecting the utility of it. And to take turning on that, from 20 weeks down to 4 weeks, huge implication.
Tell me about it, because that was the damaging the company. 20 weeks is a lot of time. I would go nuts. Anyone that would come to buy from me
Yeah,
situation. So something was not the problem. There we go. Like I said, the problem was not the product, it was the way the product reached the end. And
right.
there,
And underlying most all of that inefficiency was a failure to communicate from one team to the next.
let's say,
It's a
communication.
really simple root cause to fix.
Yeah, communication, definitely.
Mhm.
It is importantissimo. Important, important, important. And some people, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm glad I met someone today that is doing this amazing and hard and challenging to work to help others, because it's not easy to get into that situation. For example, this client that you just mentioned, to reach that you need to go under a lot of how I say, covers, like a lot of clothes behind another. The problem is here.
Mhm.
So let's try this differently, and then it worked, right? And then till
Yes.
today, they and you told us that the company increased so much customer satisfaction, and also the money wise, wow, it's unbelievable. They
Yeah.
were paying so much money and wasting and losing clients.
Mhm.
Well done, that's great. I'm happy. Thank you again for that question answered. My words today, I'm like, but there we go. This is me. Now, my last question, because I'm taking longer again. I'm always on fun, having fun with my guests. I love to be here, but I'm trying to keep it short to give people enough to come back to us and to find us and connect with us and look for our support and etc etc. But I want to ask you something else. Consultancies have changed, right? So can you compare how traditional consultancies were run with how we are running, or how you are running L cubed? I don't want to
Yeah.
talk about everyone, just L cubed.
So I was hinting at it a little bit earlier when I was talking about how we use the 4 pillars of our adaptive transformation to build self-reliance. Traditional consulting companies come in and on an engagement to solve a problem. But then the employees of that consulting company are traditionally incentivized to find other projects to grow the presence and the number of consultants working in that client environment. I talk about it as landing and expanding.
Mhm.
That model is really great for the consulting company's bottom line. It makes them more profitable. They're generating more revenue, but it's lost sight of really helping the client. And it can often build a dependency of the client on the consulting team, cost a tremendous amount of money, and the employees of the client environment aren't learning how to take care of themselves. So when I talked about wanting to build self-reliance, that's the differentiator that we at L Cubed bring to our clients, is in wanting to seed those skills and those capabilities so that our clients can do more without us.
Mm.
Now, I'll be honest, right? I own a business. I want to work with my clients more than one time, but I want to help them solve different problems with different outcomes and again build their capabilities in those spaces. So
Right.
it's always with purpose.
Good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. And the L cubed, why? I said was my last question, you see. Now I have another one. L cubed. Why L cubed? What is coming this?
It is a really simple play on my name. I'm Lisa L. Levy. I am L cubed. Friends have called me that forever, so it just became the name of the company.
I thought it have something to do with cubes and stuff. Okay.
It doesn't. I do love to, talk about our businesses being a
I love
perfect
that.
cube. And when everything is working properly, right, we're all well aligned. But sometimes, things are, a little messier. And that's when I come in and help bring it back to the way it should be.
Awesome. I love that cube. I do work with it. I do love to do this cube since I was young. I love it. But thank you for that explanation because I thought like it's something, but actually it's on your name. But
Yes.
I love the connection with your name. And also your book. Do you want to tell us something else like something else or something more about your book? What brings your book in?
So the book that you're seeing clearly, Future Proofing Cubed, is the first book that I wrote. It is about increasing productivity, refining processes, and bolstering profitability. It will walk every reader through the adaptive transformation framework. So all of the secret sauce, everything that we do is shared in the book, and there are great stories from really successful executives who some were clients, but some led this way naturally. But they're great stories that are inspirational and absolutely educational. But the basics of project management, process performance management, internal controls, and organizational change management are all clearly outlined. So,
Wow.
how you can take that and start using it requires you to spend about 3.5 hours reading a book.
Wow. And it's available on Amazon, I do believe.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. So everyone is listening this, right? And then now for to get to know you more or to find you on social media or anywhere, can you tell us where are you on these platforms, which ones and what is your name there and so on? And website. Don't forget.
Absolutely. So, LinkedIn, I am Lisa L. Levy. You will be able to find me. The middle initial helps. My personal website is lisallevy.com. It'll take you to the L Cubed website, but it's easier to remember. And on YouTube, our channel is L Cubed Consulting.
Fantastic. And Instagram?
I don't have a great presence on Instagram or Facebook.
Okay, but you there, right? Because sometimes you know what happens. People will find you there, and then by your face, right now, someone is listening, no watching. Right now, I mean, in the future, and they can't watch, but they will by your face on Instagram. They will find you on another ones. It's just like nowadays looks like Instagram is like a page, like a journal or a newspaper for each person, or profiles, or magazine, or businesses. So it's a lot of people. I found that on a party, actually, someone talking to me about this perspective of Instagram. I'm like, oh, okay, makes sense. But there we go. No problem at all if you're not on Instagram or not very powerful, because you
You'll
have a.
find pictures of my dog on Instagram.
Oh, lovely. I love it. It's because you also doing such an amazing job of work around the world, helping companies. Of course, you don't have a huge presence there. Honestly, you don't have time to be there doing reels. But that's all right. And with that said, I want to mention that all this information about Lisa Levy is available on the description of this podcast today, which you can just roll down or roll up, and you will find all that information on description. If you want to get connected with her, have a talk with her, send a message on LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn,
Mhm.
YouTube, and on the website. Lisa, do you have any discovery call, any way that a client, as someone can call, get a like schedule a call with you?
Absolutely. The link to my calendar is on my LinkedIn profile and it's on the website. So there's a 30-minute discovery call available to anybody who wants to spend a few minutes talking.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Lisa. It was amazing and so inspirational. I'm so grateful for your presence and to bring us this lot of knowledge and your tips, your strategy, and the new word for myself, cavalist, that I discover that I discovered and I made up, and then was not cavalist but catalyst. This is the way you describe yourself. Catalyst, coach, but the new one is Zenny, right?
Zany.
Really, I love it. Thank you once again. God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing. Inspire people, help people, support them, and businesses, of course. But it's about people. And don't let them keep doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results.
Yes.
Take care. Bye bye. That's lovely. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed our conversation. And just to remind you that Lisa information, or better, her all website, social media, everything is on the description of this podcast. You can get in touch with her if you think that you need to have a talk to explore your opportunities on your business as an entrepreneur. Like she said, her prices, if I'm not lying, I'm saying the truth, I heard this, is not expensive, and she always try to help the entrepreneurs, because as big businesses, they do the same process where they spend a lot of money. So don't be afraid to get in touch with Lisa today. And thank you so much for being present. And I hope you enjoy. And I might see you. I think I'm not gonna see you next week, but the week after. Take care. God bless. Bye bye.